You probably just opened your fridge, looked inside, and closed it again. Maybe you weren't even hungry, but you still didn't know what you wanted to eat. This is something modern humans do all the time. But for most of human history, this behavior didn't exist. Most of the time, there was simply no food. For 300,000 years, your ancestors didn't wake up asking, "What should I eat today?" They woke up with a different question, not a much more basic one. Not choice, not preference. Just this: is there anything to eat today? There was no fridge, no storage, and no idea of a next meal. Sometimes they found food. Sometimes there was nothing. Archaeologists noticed something strange. Same groups of people, different bone records. In some periods, they ate a lot of meat. In others, almost no traces of protein at all. Today in Tanzania, there are still people living in a way that's close to ancient life. They're called the Hadza. Anthropologists have lived with them for years. And one thing becomes obvious: their world never stays the same. It keeps shifting. In some seasons, they eat meat almost every day, bones everywhere around the fire. In other seasons, they go days, sometimes even longer, living mostly on berries and honey. No pattern, no stability, just change. Your body was not originally designed this way. After long periods without food, your brain doesn't slow down. It does the opposite. It becomes more alert. Attention increases. Senses sharpen. Sounds and movement in the environment start standing out more. You react faster, not slower. But evolution did something counterintuitive. The opposite of what you would expect. After 12 to 24 hours without food, something inside your body starts to rise. A certain substance. And it doesn't make you weaker. It makes you more awake. Have you ever noticed something? When people finish eating, they sit down. They drift off. Sometimes they even get sleepy. It feels automatic. But in the ancient world, this wasn't just a feeling. It was a signal. A very specific one. Because after eating, staying active outside was dangerous. You could become prey. So what did ancient humans actually eat in a day? For most of human history, there was no such thing as a daily diet. Anthropologists studying the Hadza still see this pattern today. Some seasons, they find meat every day. Other times, they search for berries, tubers, and honey wherever they can. Food changes. Seasons change. There is no stable nutrition pattern, only fluctuation. And your brain was formed inside that world. There was one thing, in the ancient world, extremely rare: sugar. Sweetness was not normal. It was not part of everyday life. It was a reward signal. In 2021, scientists studied ancient human dental calculus and found traces of wild fruits and sugar residues. So yes, ancient humans did encounter sugar, but only very rarely. Sugar was not something you could just reach for. In some hunter-gatherer groups, people would climb trees over 30 meters high just to reach honey, and they would be attacked by swarms of bees. Some would fall, but they still went, because in that world, sugar was not just tasty. It was emergency fuel, energy that could carry you through the next starvation cycle. So the brain remembered it. Every time sweetness appears, the reward system lights up instantly, not because of craving, but because your ancestors once survived on that signal. Even after humans started farming, things didn't really change in the way people assume. If harvests failed, people still starved. When winter came, food still disappeared. Nature was still in control, still deciding when humans could eat. The real shift came much later. During the Industrial Revolution, trains started transporting refrigerated food. Canned food became widespread. For the first time, meat could survive across seasons. And then, supermarkets appeared. Food became something new, something that felt always there. Winter or dry season, it didn't matter anymore. Shelves stayed full. For the first time in history, food stopped following the seasons. The world has changed, but your brain hasn't. When stress shows up, your body immediately switches into energy storage mode. It releases something called cortisol, and it sends a very simple message to your brain: you need more energy right now. But your brain can't really tell the difference between things. An email from work, a bill you need to pay, social anxiety, and a wild animal moving closer in the dark. To your brain, the response is basically the same. And even today, when you feel stressed, your body still runs the same instruction set. Eat something, quick, store energy. But here's the problem. That famine your body is reacting to most of the time doesn't exist at all. The human brain has a very old flaw. When a certain combination of taste appears, the reward system lights up instantly. Sugar, fat, salt. When these three are combined, your brain struggles to stop. Food scientists even gave it a name. They call it the Bliss Point. An apple has sugar, but very little fat. Nuts have fat, but not much sugar. So your brain never really learned how to defend against this combination. That's why you can easily stop eating an apple. But it's much harder to stop eating chips once you start. When stress shows up, you want to eat something. When you feel bored, you want to eat something. Even when nothing is happening, you still want to eat something. You open the fridge, look inside, then close it again, or you take something out. And most of the time, you're not responding to hunger. You are responding to something much older. 300,000 years ago, he wakes up. It's still dark, and he has one job: stay alive. Now you wake up. Your phone is already glowing. The fridge is just a few steps away. You don't need to search. You only need to decide. But your body hasn't changed. A system built for searching food. How is it supposed to function in a world where food is always there? No one really knows.